Hi guys, little lady here. Right, so I'm doing a pud today. It is something that I mentioned before Christmas, and a lot of people said that they wanted to have a look at it. So today I'm going to do a lemon meringue pie. So I'll bring you down and I'll show you what I've got. Right, so I'm not making the pastry today. Before Christmas, Ian did sweet mince pies, and he had leftover pastry. Just didn't want to make it. The recipe was for 18 pies, and to be honest, there's only 2 people in the family that like it. So he wasn't going to make all 18, so we'll put some of his pastry in the freezer. Now, how we made this, it was 300 grams of plain flour, 150 grams of butter, and what he did was he zested, I don't know if you can see, he zested a tangerine into it and used the tangerine juice instead of the water to make the pastry. And it was absolute. I mean, like I say, I don't like sweet mince pies, but I was nicking bits of the pastry off and eating it. It was gorgeous. So that's going to be the pastry base. So what we have also is 6 eggs. Now we're going to be using the yolks for the curd and the whites for the meringue. We have 3 lemons. Now the recipe I looked at did say 6 lemons, but we got these from Costco's last week and they are huge. They're about the size of 2 ordinary lemons. So I'm going to check with 3. I need 450 mils of water, and for the meringue and the curd we need some corn flour and some caster sugar. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the pastry base. I've got the oven set at 180 and I'm going to blind bake this first. So what we'll do is we'll get it in the tin and then we'll get on with the rest. Right, so I've got the pastry out. I've just put a little bit of flour on there. I've got my flan dish. It is non-stick, but I have rubbed it with a little bit of oil just in case. And I'm just going to roll this out. I've had it out of the, it's been defrosting in the fridge overnight, and I have had it out the fridge for about half an hour, so the butter isn't as hard. So I'm just going to roll this out. There we go. Like I say, it's gorgeous pastry this, if you want to give it a try. I'm probably going to have a bit too much for this, but there we go. It's looking lovely. I'm just going to turn it over. A little bit of flour. Put it back on this side. Yeah, definitely more than enough to go into there. I'm just going to, it's like shortbready, this pastry, so I don't mind it being a bit thicker than what I would normally do, because it's just another part. And if you've got short gorgeous pastry like this, you want to be able to taste it, especially with all of them, the orange juice, the tangerine juice and everything in it. So just lift it up and push it down and then press it in. Just keep going all the way around so we don't get any air pockets. If you like me, be careful of your nails. What I want to do is I want to take a little bit off here and just push it in all the way around. So it's all gorgeously lined. And what I'm going to do is take most of this off, but not all of it, in case it does shrink in the oven, and always trim it off afterwards. I'll find some use for them. For the trimmings. There we go. I'm just going to leave it as that, put them to one side. Like I say, I'll make some use of that. Get my baking beads out. If I can open it up. Just use the same bit of parchment. That's what I use. And put that in there. Baking beans in. So this is going to go into the oven now for 15 minutes with those in. Then I'll take these out and put it back in for another 5 minutes. So I'm going to get this in there now. Right, so while the pastry's in the oven, I'm going to get on with doing the lemon curd. So you've got 450 ml of water into a pan. And I'm just going to put that onto the gas to start warming up. Because it does need to be boiling. And then what we're going to do is we're going to zest and juice these lemons straight. Do it into this bowl. Right, so I'm going to carry on doing that. Right, so I've zested the lemons as best I could. And now we're just going to get the lemon juice. I'm going to use this one instead of the handheld. Could do with a new one. These as well, mind. I'm just going to check that water. It's just starting to come to the boil, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Lovely. One. It's more like a blooming grapefruit, this one. Right, I'm going to carry on juicing these off. Right, so just them lemons, it's just under 300 ml in that. So I'm going to pop that in with the zest. And now I'm going to put that on there, and I want 65 grams of corn flour. There we go, 65, bang on. Let's move that out of the way. Just going to make this into a smooth paste. Corn flour's that fine, it dissolves virtually straight away. I love the smell of zesty lemons. Always makes you feel brighter. So I'm just checking, and there's 1 minute left on the pie crust, so I'm going to put that to one side, move these across, and we'll have a look at it when it comes out. Right, so that's had the first 15 minutes. I'm just going to pop them in there, and I'm going to pop it back in for another 5 minutes. Right, so the water's come to the boil, so we're going to add in the lemon juice, the lemon zest, and the corn flour mixture. Like that, and then we'll give it a whisk until it thickens. Starting to thicken straight away, look. Right, so I'm going to take that off the heat now, just for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to separate all of these eggs. Right, so it's just a matter of doing these, and now I'm going to put the egg yolks in with the lemon mixture, so I'm just going to put the egg yolks into that bowl. I'm just going to separate these. If I can get it open, come on, you know you want to. That's it. Right, third one. I would turn these off. I know it's probably boring watching this, but however, I have got egg white all over my fingers, and I don't want it all over my camera. Last one. The reason why if I was doing this normally, I would just put it between the egg yolks, but the last thing I want in this egg white is any egg yolk, so if I puncture it with the shell and any of the egg yolk gets in there, then it won't work for our meringues. Right, so I'm just going to move that over to there for a second. Get this back. Put on the scales. Now I want 250 grams of caster sugar in there. I'll be brave. Getting there. There we go. So I'm just going to mix those together. Tart case. It's just about ready to come out after it's 5 minutes. And then I'll turn the oven down to 170. So I'm just going to clear up here and we'll get back over to the hob. Right, so that's the first stage of it. Now what we're going to do is going to get this egg and sugar mixture in there now. Oh, just dropped a lid. There we go. It's looking more like lemon curd now. Turn it up slightly till it comes back up and it starts to thicken again. You can feel it. Use the back end of the spoon. God, that's delicious. Right, so I'm just going to leave that, turn it off and leave that to cool slightly. The case is out and I'm just going to make the meringues now. So I'm just going to get set up to do that. Right, so now it's on to the meringues. Now the thing with meringues is you don't want any sort of grease or anything in your bowl. So one of the lemons that I zested, just going to rub that on there. Lovely. Get that in there. Get the whisk on. And then all of the egg whites. Right, we'll get that on to start mixing up there. I'll be coming back just in a couple of minutes when that's all sorted. Right, I know it's noisy and I do apologise, but while that's whisking up, I'm going to weigh out 250 grams of caster sugar. So you know, 225 grams of caster sugar. A lot of sugar in this. I'll be tasting it, but Ian's going to take it into work for the lads and that at work, so they can have it. It's a bit of a treat for them. Right, so I'll just wait for these to come up and I'll come back. Right, so it's just about getting there now. So what I'm going to do is spoon at a time and add the sugar. If you dump it all in, you lose all of your air. So just one at a time. And you'll see it getting silkier and silkier. Right, so I'm just going to finish off putting in the sugar. Right, so that's all of the sugar incorporated into there now. Now what I'm going to do is put in 2 tablespoons of corn flour. There we go. I'm just going to put it back on, let it mix in. That gives you the fudgy texture. Nice thick meringues. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the spatula and just make sure that all that corn flour that maybe got stuck on the sides is all in there. Right, so if you give us 2 minutes, I'm just going to clear down and then it's now an assembly job. Right, so it's not that brilliant, but it's enough for there. So what I'm going to do is going to put the lemon curd in first. If there's any left over, there's nothing wrong with putting that into a jar in the fridge and having it on some toast. And then we add on your meringues. And just, you could pipe this in, but to be honest, I'm not that great at piping, and it's just something else to wash up. Just make a nice swirly pattern on the top. Right, now I turn the oven down to 170 and that's going to go back into the oven for about 15 minutes. Right, so it's had its 15 minutes and it's out of the oven now, and now it's just the time to let it completely cool down before you try to cut it open. So we'll see you later. Right, so here it is, it's all fully cooled down. I've got it out of the tin and put it on a plate. A couple of bits a little bit darker than the others, but I don't know about you, but I think that looks amazing. So I'm going to have a bit of a taste. I'm just gonna get a small piece, because really this is not something that we are going to be eating much of at the moment. Like I say, the rest of it will go into Ian's work tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be there we go, look. That's what it's like on the inside. So you have nice crunchy pastry on the bottom, your lemon curd and your meringue on the top. Right, so I'm just going to get myself into place and I'm going to have a little bit of a taste. Right, so Ian's upstairs watching the football, and there it is again. Hope you can see that. Now I've not had this for years. So all three bits together. Even if you don't do anything else out of this, if you like lemons, make that lemon curd. That is lovely. And that pastry that Ian made for the mince pies, it's just gorgeous. It's like shortbread rather than pastry. It's gorgeous. So, well, this is my one little treat of the week. So I'm going to make myself a coffee. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to eat the rest of it. So right, thanks guys for everything that you have done. I hope you give that a try. The lemon, even though it's sweet, it's got that lovely tang. Right, so like I say, thank you for everything that you do, and I'm really appreciative of it. Oh, my mouth's watering. So right, I'm gonna go make myself a cup of coffee and sit and eat the rest of this. And thank you very much, guys. See you later.